if the Anunnaki are real and Nibiru is real, and Nibiru is on an elliptical cycle that comes between, it's like Mars and Jupiter, right? Somewhere around there.
Well, it's further out now. It's over time, its
Right.
orbit has been pushed out, and that's just one planet that these Anunnaki people come from. They come from many planets.
But do you think that this planet, Nibiru, that's on an elliptical orbit, if it's coming every 3,600 years, wouldn't there be some sort of documentation 3,600 years ago, at the very least?
Well, you have to look for geological disasters as marker points. This object, this Nibiru planet, which is mentioned, by the way, in the Enuma Elish, it's not a fabricated name, just so people know that's a real name. In the Enuma Elish, the oldest version of the Enuma Elish, it says Nibiru as one of the planets. But you look at the time frame when this thing gets close. It orbits another planet, another star. So it orbits a brown dwarf star. This brown dwarf star has the same amount of mass as our sun, but it's much smaller, right? But it generates enough heat through friction and its orbiting planets. You can see it in two-mass infrared mode coming out of the constellation of Leo if you go to a worldwide telescope and download the software and all of that. But the fact that modern science now admit that there's an object out there that they say orbit our sun every 4,200 years, right? Now that's Corey Powell from Discovery Magazine. He's a real astronomer. Been on Fox News. He said that on Fox News. If I can find the clip, I'll send it to you. Matter of fact.
We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it. Yeah, Fox News, Corey Powell. And so what's happening is we are seeing evidence that there is something out there that's orbiting our sun, and that our sun is a binary star system. So we used to think that our sun, one sun in the solar system, is normal. But as they looked out into space with Hubble and now the Webb, they discovered, no, binary is more of the normal, and even trinary. And so it's like, wait a minute. If binary is normal, so they started looking for this object that gravitationally should exist, and they believe that it's out there far beyond the orbit of Pluto, and that Corey Powell says a solar system exists within our solar system. And he goes on to say, we come from there on Fox News, which was just crazy.
So the idea, if you follow Terrence Howard's theory, is that matter comes from the sun, it moves away, coalesces into planets, it gets to a Goldilocks zone, life comes out of that, life becomes far more intelligent as time goes on, develops more capabilities, and then is also assisted by other beings that have been through this process already.
Yeah.
And then if this scales out for hundreds of millions of years, you get to a point where this Nibiru is.
Yeah.
Or billions of years, or whatever it takes for it to get all the way the fuck out.
Well, I estimate that they're about 1 million years ahead of us technologically. Now, it could be...
And then there's things that are millions of years ahead of them.
Oh, way ahead of them. There's things that are far, far ahead of them.
This is what's hard for us to scale out.
Yeah.
We like to think that aliens that fly in spaceships, that's the top of the food chain.
Right.
But not even close.
Yeah. Like I was saying before, I never got to it, really. There's 3 types of beings I think that exist. One is a physical corporeal being that could be what we see flying around in these UFOs. Not all of them, some of them, that visit us, that interact with us in the ancient past. Not all are little green men, but they have various different body types. The second kind that I believe is potentially multidimensional beings. Okay, that there's life in every different dimension. And, Michio Kaku was famous for saying that the universe, they believe, has 11 dimensions. So that's 11 dimensions. We're only in the third. There's 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way up to 11 at least, or the universe, he says, would collapse. So if you're in a being in a higher dimension, you can see the past, present, and future all at once in the third. And if you say, that's an interesting place, I'd like to visit it, if you can actually create a phase shift in your atomic frequency to match the atomic frequency of this dimension, you can walk right in, and then you can walk right back. And then you probably have something else that's outside of this entire universe that has the capability. Maybe it is the creators of the universe itself, which is why I wrote the book, Fractal Holographic Universe. Maybe there's a creator outside of this entire universe that has a hand in creating this ancestor universe itself.
Well, it also makes sense that if you scaled intelligent life up infinitely, you're going to reach a point where you have godlike powers.
Yeah.
This being or collection of beings, this hive mind, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it could essentially, if given 100 million years, harness the very power of the universe itself, or maybe even create the universe.
And create other universes.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah.
Which
absolutely.
is the ultimate mind blower, that intelligent life is the reason why this thing exists, that it creates this thing.
We're creating universes right now as human beings on this planet. 14 college kids created a video game called No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is on one DVD disc, and it has 80 quadrillion planets and unlimited life forms, and the game never ends.
We've talked about that, right? Yeah. That one's a weird one.
Yeah, you put AI in it.
Right.
Then what's going to happen?
Right. Scale up to a quantum computer.
Now all of a sudden,
And
wait
then
a
have
minute.
a virtual reality headset.
Boom.
Yeah.
The people in there, who are we? Where are we from?
Right.
What is the Big Bang? When we turn the console on, that's the Big Bang for you. Yeah, Sims. The Sims are going to get AI now. They're going to be asking questions.
Right.
They're going to be creating their own software within the software and trying to build their own copy of a universe. We're not even close to base reality. We're literally living in a stacked reality. We're just one reality out of, who knows, Googles of actual realities that exist.